Hi everyone, Dusty here, and today I've got a brand new Warhammer video. Sorry, I've been playing so much with another Godforge video. I don't know why I'm getting so confused. I think it's because I've been playing too many of the Warhammer games, and I've just started painting models, and I've gotten so into it that I tend to get it mixed up. I've actually got a Warhammer box over here that I started painting, and I'm so much into it that I've actually been branded by the Imperium, so that's not the bad eagle from, the bad thing, but it's basically the Aquila of the Imperium, like the Space Marines and that sort of thing. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my non-progress in Godforge. I've had a little bit of a hiccup this week because we are moving near Southport, which is near Liverpool, and we've basically been doing a lot of packing and getting ready, and we're signing contracts next week, so I haven't had a chance to make a video, and I'm probably about 5 days behind everyone in gameplay, and I've made a lot of mistakes because I didn't watch all the other videos. That's not 100% true. I have watched a few of Ragewood's videos, and a couple of Scratch's videos too, after I'd made the mistakes and now I can't repair them. I didn't play the mini game. I don't know what happened, but for some reason I just forgot about it, so I didn't get the extra legendary, but it's a good thing because it gives me a chance to play as a casual would play, starting the game from scratch. I didn't have much luck with the first legendary either. I'll pop over and show you that. I got Count Dorkula over here. Apparently one of his abilities is busted or something, so I haven't touched him until they say okay, they fixed him. Well, he's 3-star, but I tried him a bit and it wasn't going anywhere. The main guy I've been playing with is Ramses. I find him quite good for AoE. Another one that I found that no one else is talking about, but I find is really fun, is Bastet over here. Please don't pronounce that name wrong, because when I was watching the video it sounded like they said bastard, but anyway, Bastet is an AoE HP burn character, and she can hit pretty hard, and I've been having a whale of a time with her. On one of Ragewood's videos, I think it was, he pointed out this lady over here, Inari, and she's actually pretty cool. Once you ascend her, she does multiple attacks, and she can heal your characters, and she's quite a good carry, so I've used her through a lot of the campaign. I'm only on the first part of the campaign. I haven't gone to adventure mode yet because I just literally haven't had the time with packing. I got Imhotep. He's alright, maybe I've probably not geared him correctly, because he's alright, just not quick enough, and missing stats like most of my characters because my gear is trash. I started off, my first epic was this doggo over here. He seems alright, more single target. What was the other one that I started with? I've got this chap. I used him for the part of the campaign where you need 2 brawlers, so I used him and the doggo together, and I got through that. And who else? I think it's Monley. I'm talking nonsense at 4 o'clock in the morning. This lady over here, what's her name? Isolde. She's absolutely fantastic. Turn meter booster, and pretty quick, and she cleans debuffs. Absolutely fantastic. I found in the later stages I've needed more defense, so I got this lady over here. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. I'll just call her Queen Mother. And she's started helping me a bit with defense, because I'm absolutely rubbish at that. Oh, another special one that I'm really enjoying is Changi. She's absolutely lovely, you know, with her abilities over here. Let's have a look. Okay, she's got a speed lead in dungeon battles, obviously based on attack, and she heals 5% of the allies. So basically she heals, and if the target's under vanish, she'll heal for 10%. Now the doggo can actually do that, I think, if I'm not wrong. Okay, and then you get all of this, your accuracy up, resistance up, and of course vanish. So and block debuffs, absolutely fantastic. I apologize if I'm waffling. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired. So yeah, that's all the luck I've had. I pulled all of my shards. I didn't manage to pull any legendaries, obviously. That's just my luck. But basically he's been my staple. I've used him all the way. Gear is absolutely trash as well. A lot of 2 stars and 3 stars. I've, you know, got 1 or 2 things over there. Overall the gear's rubbish, because I haven't been doing the gear dungeons as much as I should. I've been focusing on ascending them, thinking that that's going to be like the way to go, which I'm sure it is, because it unlocks their basic, their what you call it, the passive abilities. And I do have an imprint on the weapon. What I've been doing mostly now, because I only learned after watching one of Scratch's videos, is that I've been leveling up my food. So I've basically been using the commons and leveling them up to 3-star, or starting 2-star, then leveling them up to 3-star, which uses a lot of the what you call it, talking gibberish again, yeah, XP. Uses a lot of XP. Now I've got a lot of XP because I've been farming a lot of campaign and a lot of the ascension dungeons, but basically it's like set and forget. So like you know, when I'm going to bed, I'll just set up like 50 runs and let it run and go to bed, and that's pretty much how I've been playing. I know that's not exciting, but I can tell you a lot of the mistakes that I made right in the beginning, which I wish I'd known. Number 1, I wasn't following the missions. This is like a second round of the missions, because I'd finished all the way up to part 5 and then it started again. So I assume there's going to be multiple stages of this to get to the lady in the end. I don't know if I'll get there, but I'll give it a try. I found there's a bit of a bug with collecting this over here. No matter how many times I've clicked on it, I can't, and you can see I'm already past it there. So I can't pick these books up but I suppose those are for legendaries, so it doesn't really matter. I just hope I get this so I think it's a soul copy or something like that. The other mistake I made is with my gems. I went into the I think it was the bazaar. No, not bazaar, it was the store. Yes, Ruby store. Yeah, and I saw this over here, the 30 ancestrals, and I thought, oh, that's the best one. So I cranked that, and it gobbled up most of my rubies. And yeah, so you know, you can't do much without rubies, because you need to be able to get energy, and you know, a lot of other things that you're going to need later on when you run out of gold, or you run out of energy. So, you know, that's a mistake I think I would avoid if I started again, because you pick up a lot of them during the missions and during the campaign, and I'm literally only getting rare characters. You know, I get the odd epic, but the epics that I've got are absolute trash. So not really. Some of them are good. I apologize. But no legendaries, obviously. The one thing that I did pick up that was pretty good, I don't know if you can see it yet. No, I don't think it was there. It was under calendars, but basically it was the gold pack. I did take that because, you know, you always run out of gold. I've got 6 million at the moment, but that's because I've been just running campaign to get experience and leveling up the characters and experience to build up the food. Alrighty then. Calendar, I've been oh, there it is. That's what I bought there. The gold, the third Princess Pact. I picked that up. That's been pretty handy. Ribbons Chosen. This is basically for everyone playing the beta. I've picked up the frame, and then there's another beta flare over there for tomorrow, and then we'll get some stones later on. I don't know if we'll actually, yeah, we will, because I think this beta is 2 weeks, so we'll be able to pick those up. And then where was I? What am I clicking on? Oh yeah, all of these over here. We obviously won't get to the final character over here because we have only got 2 weeks, and this is a 30-day thing. I'm going to be waffling a bit, I apologize. Let's have a look. Quests, I've been keeping up with the daily ones. I've noticed that there are some, okay, they're not showing up now, but there are some that you can't do, like going into the, I think it was the tower. And there were a couple of others that are locked because not all of their dungeons are available. I'm not 100% sure, but there are some that aren't available, but you still get completion. So I'm sure a lot of you have found quests that you can't complete. These I can, obviously, but I think it was day 2 or day 3 I found a few that I couldn't do. But even though I couldn't do them, it still gave me completion. So you definitely can do your daily quests. Weekly quests, I've done most of them. Monthly, still got 3 to go over there. Crucible, yeah, I've got a couple now. But what had happened was I'd taken all of the legendaries and the epics that I got right in the beginning, and I threw them onto weapons that I wasn't even sure about, and now I've pretty much lost them because the weapons that I chose may not have been the best weapons for the characters. So I would watch that, you know, maybe don't use them right in the beginning. First find the perfect weapon for your main characters, you know, depending on whether you took Ramses or if you got lucky with some great legendaries. I've seen Ragewood has 2 amazing legendaries, and Scratch too, he's also got a good legendary or 2 there. But save them for those. Rather use your rare ones, because some of these are pretty good. You know, you do pick up some excellent ones. Basically the bag, I actually love this bag system because it is so easy to filter your gear and to just sell, because you can auto sell what you don't need. So you basically click on sell, you can choose your quality and your rarity. So I basically, I'd maybe leave the 3 for now. So basically you can just do that. You can select all. There we go. Okay, so you can basically select all, confirm, sell, and it only gives you Rivernight. But you need that Rivernight because it runs out so quickly. You can pick a lot up in campaign and in the gear dungeons, but if I'm not wrong. But it's worth selling most of the white stuff because you don't get any substats, and that makes it fairly useless. I mean, if you get a white, say 4, if I say 4-star, but like a Roman numeral 4, and its speed, you could maybe use it, but it's only going to give you speed, no substats at all. So yeah, that's basically what I do there. With the heroes, what I've been doing is I convert the first lot that I got, I converted into spirits, because you do need sorry, not those two, you do need some spirits. So I got myself up to about 100 spirits, just burning the green stones, the reason I stick to the white ones is it's simpler to level them up, because when you turn the green characters, the uncommon, into spirits, it just makes it easier to upgrade these dudes over here. I'm waffling again, I apologize. And they're the best. So if you're going to level your character to 60, for instance, it's easier to make 5 stars out of your white characters than anything else, because like I say, if you're going to turn, say, your rares that you don't need into spirits, you get your 3 stars and you get your 2 stars from your green, and they're a lot easier to feed into the white ones, your common characters. So I'll basically show you. So I could take like this chap over here, just promote him. I've got 2.1 million of the, I have to remember, XP. I keep thinking in spirit. Just get it to rank 4 autofill, and it just takes those 3 stars that I made, promote, and boom, I've got a 4-star. And you can just keep doing this. Now the reason I do that is because if you're going to buy them, so now you go to the bazaar and you go to the spirits, the problem with this is it's 1 million gold for basically 1 to 4 of these, and the chance of getting 4 is very, very low. The most I've got, I mean, I do buy it because I do make enough gold, but the problem is you don't always get a high enough. I mean, I've had 2 times that I got only 1, so it's not always worth it. It's easier just to use your common characters and level them up if you've got the XP to do it. So we'll try one. There's only a few things in this bazaar that I do buy that are worth it, so we could try that. See, 2. So I've never gotten 4. I don't buy the 3 stars. Well, it tells you that you could get 1, but yeah, it's not worth it. Aether stones, there is a possibility that you could get a flawless one, but I haven't seen it. I've only ever gotten greens out of that, so we'll give it a gamble. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I always get the green ones, so it's not worth it. This one, it's not worth it because you farm those up so quickly in campaign. The one I really like is this box of mysteries, because you've got the chance of getting up to 1 million XP, and that's absolutely fantastic. You know, that these 2 are a waste of time. 250 energy is pretty decent. Scrolls of knowledge, another thing that is definitely worth it. A random imprint, I'm not so bothered about that, but the journals of knowledge and the tome of knowledge, those are the big ones, because crafting those takes up a lot of pages and scrolls and books. You know, you got to have so many of these books to put into that you just run out of it. So if you can pick up like a legendary tome like this, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm betting if I click this, I'll probably get one of these here, but let's hope. Let's see what we get. Oh, there we go. I've got an imprint. That's alright. It's not the end of the world. Just don't buy these imprints over here. Absolute waste of money. I mean, for 500k, see, I'm already done. I was at 6 million just doing those little things. If you take this here, you might get lucky and get like a good imprint, but the chances are really slim. So I wouldn't bother with it at all. So that's pretty much all I would do. I wouldn't even bother with this here. I did it once and all I got was these. So there's obviously a lower chance of getting this here. So, you know, but I mean, it's your gold. You can spend it how you like. Gear, no, because you can farm up your gear in, rather use your energy, because they give you a ton of energy. Just farm up your gear in the dungeons and in campaign. I honestly wouldn't bother with this gear at all. You know, unless there's some secret I don't know about, I honestly wouldn't bother with it. As for the store, you do get daily free gifts, so you get like an energy refill, which will give you your what your, you know, so I'm at level 35 just from my night farming. So it'll basically, it won't just give you a bit of energy there, it's going to give you 135 energy, which is pretty decent. Another reason I recommend that you save your gems as well, your ruby, sorry, is because at a later stage you might start running out of energy because you get energy when you level up, I think, and you might end up needing to buy energy, and this is probably where you'd most likely need to go. Like I said, I went and bought this over here to start with. You know, if you go into the actual Godforge, it shows that there's a possibility of getting legendary, but that's going to be like 0.00 something % of getting a legendary. The one thing I must commend them for is this. This is absolutely out of this world. I know that it's going to be even a lower chance. It's probably going to be 0.0000005% chance of getting a legendary, but the fact that you could possibly get a legendary from a green mortal stone is absolutely amazing to me. You know, no matter how low the chances, I would absolutely go for that, because it's the first game that's done this. I mean, if you look at like Raid, for instance, you can possibly get a legendary from a blue one, but you know, your chances are you'd only get one after like 200 or whatever summons, you know. So the chance that you could get one from mortals that you pick up by the hundreds, I mean, there's 119 and I only did a bit of campaign earlier, is absolutely fantastic. Because I mean, this beta is only 2 weeks, but I mean, you got to remember, over the lifetime of the game, you're going to be getting thousands of these, and eventually you're going to pull legendaries. So it's absolutely fantastic that you can get it from the basic ones. I did get I think I picked up 2 more of these flawless ones, but I wasn't lucky enough to get a legendary. I got epics on those. That's where I got that fox lady from. What's her chops? This lady, Inari. She's absolutely lovely, and she's a great carry for campaign. I would definitely recommend her. You know, if you look at her abilities, she can gain an extra turn, and the amount of turns that this lady takes is like just one after the other all the time, and she's got a lot of AoE as well. I'll show you through my progress. It's not impressive by any means. I'm stuck where Ragewood was stuck on day 1, basically. So yeah, this is where I am over here, and it's stage 10. But the roadblock that I have is that even though they are at level 50, I think you probably need to have at least 1 or 2 level 60s and probably better gear, because I haven't been farming the gear dungeons as much as I should. So I mean, I've still got 2-star pieces on there, and I've got these things to level 12. So yeah, let's have a look at the stages that I've got to. Now I'm basically hardlocked all of them. I'm hardlocked to these levels. So my next level would be stage 7. So I'm basically farming stage 6, which is really suboptimal, because if you're farming for this here in stage 6, if you look at the information, when you want to ascend, you've got a they say guaranteed, but you could get the normal stone, or you could get the next level up, but you're more likely going to get the normal stone. Whereas if you go to the higher levels, you got more chance of getting, you got a higher chance of getting the bigger stones, and that's what you need for like level say 3 and 4 of his ascension. And then you'll need these for, well, definitely need them for legendaries. But the higher that you can go in these stages, the better. But I'm sort of hard locked behind stage 6, because as soon as I go into stage 7, it just floors me, because the thing is, there is a specific technique to the character. I'm not sure if it mentions there. Oh yeah, well, it tells you all of his abilities over here, but I'm a bit of a brainlet, you know, autism, and so reading is not my forte. But what I will say is, I've noticed Ragewood has put up a couple of videos on the dungeons, and if you follow what he says, you're gonna surpass me very quickly, because he basically breaks down each ability, and then he'll tell you which characters have the abilities and in which order to use them, to help you get past the bosses. And I think I saw one where he got past stage 9 or 10, and I'm nowhere near there, so it's definitely worth watching these videos. As for the gear, I'm not sure what I like. I quite like this shrine gear, and you know, because some of them give you speed, some of them, you know, because they're like two set pieces, and for some reason I like this parasite, because every time you attack, you gain back a bit of health, which is basically like the gear in the starter gear in Raid, where you can you know, every time you attack, you get a bit of health back, you know. So I quite like parasite. The problem that I find, oh sorry, before I get to that, Hag's Hollow is very important, because Hag's Hollow is where you get the materials to make your weapons. Well, it says it there, so you'd obviously know that. I would definitely look at Scratch's videos too, because he gives you a good breakdown of the beginner stuff, and I picked up things that I had absolutely no clue about, because I did play the Alpha 2. I played the Alpha 2, and that was basically the tower that we were playing, and it was a lot of fun because you're picking up a lot of legendaries, and it was quite a good time that. But this is a lot more involved, and at that point, the one thing I want to say overall that I'm impressed with is the visuals are 100-fold better than what they were. You know, there's a lot more characters, there's a lot more to this game. It's, you know, because I mean, if you look at the screen, you think, oh, this is pretty simple. But when you look at all the little microsystems inside everything, it's actually quite involved, you know. So it's worth watching a few guides and getting into it that way. But I still think the way that I started without the extra legendary and that sort of thing is it's a good gauge for me, because it'll show people what it's like starting as, you know, say now you start a year from now and there's no like free login or something like that, and you basically start fresh. You know, it's a good indicator of what it'll feel like. I think the economy definitely needs adjusting, but overall, I'm quite shocked at how good the game is, considering that it's only been 3 years. Because you've got to bear in mind, these games can sometimes take 5 years to make, because this, I mean, they're not the biggest team in the world. They're not like EA that has thousands of employees that can just code all the time. And considering that this is the first game that Simon and the team have made, I think it's absolutely fantastic so far. And this is only the beta. There's still a lot to come. You've still got your Pantheon, which I think is your clan or your guild, and then there's a tower that they had. So there's a lot more stuff to come. Oh yeah, arenas locked, and the tower. And the tower was a lot of fun, because that like campaign, there's specific things that you need to get through the tower. On a fundamental level, you need certain characters with certain builds to be able to get past the stages. But not just that, you got to 3-star them to get all of the extra goodies, and you need specific builds. So, on that note, I would say be careful. Sorry, I'm going into the wrong thing. Be careful what you turn into souls over here. Don't get rid of all of your characters. Hold on to your epics. Hold on to at least a copy of some of the decent characters, like Cersei over here is quite good. I've heard this chap's not too bad. This lady's quite good as well as an invoker. I don't really rate that kitty cat. This chap, he looks so simple with his one little eyeball, but he smacks. He's a brawler. He smacks really hard. And then you've got your other starters as well. The one that I've missed that I really wanted was the green doggo, because that guy was, he was busted in alpha because he was healing more than he should have, but he's a good carry for the beginning. But then later on, when you pick up better healers like Imhotep or the legendaries, obviously, which I don't have, it's going to make your game a lot easier. I'm not too fussed that I don't have any legendary healers or revivers, because at the moment in beta, apparently they're busted and they're not reviving. So, I'm sure that'll be patched out quickly. But for first beta overall, I think this is absolutely fantastic. There's so much in this game. When they said beta was coming out, I wasn't expecting to have all these different systems in place. Like for instance, if you think about other games that have come out with their betas, like in 2019, I think Raid came out. There wasn't a lot to the game. There were I don't even know if there were dungeons. You had the campaign. I think there were some dungeons, if I remember correctly. But you had your basic campaign and a few odds and ends. But this has got a lot more systems in it in beta than I remember, the other one having. So I'm quite impressed. I think some of the visuals need a little bit of tweaking. Like for instance, Doggo over here. His animations are like really stiff. So like when he attacks someone, he basically looks like a log going over to the character, and it's just like dunk dunk, and then he hobbles back. So some of the things need a bit of brushing up, but look, we're only in beta 1 and there's still time before the game comes out, so those are minors. And overall, I think they've done an absolutely lovely job. It's not me trying to white knight, it's me looking at the game from what it was like in alpha. In alpha it was bare bones, and I was a little bit nervous after alpha, and now playing the beta, I'm thinking, whoa, this is a real game, and even if you come in and you think, oh, there's not much going on, bear in mind, you know, if you're coming from, say, Raid, for instance, which is still a good game. I still play Raid. I've still got a level 100 account. You're coming from Raid, you got to remember they've had 7 years of content, and they've built themselves up, and they've got like over 1,000 characters, and, you know, pulling the legendaries, like, you know, drawing blood from a stone. You know, it's not so easy, you know, unless you spend a lot of money. But they've got all of the content already in the game, and they'll probably have more. But this is just starting, and it's already got all of this content, and it'll have more when it releases. So they've only given us chunks. So like in the beginning we've got Tower, now we've got a bit of story content, and the story, you know, the thing is I guess a lot of people will just click past the story. But the first time I went through the campaign, I basically, even though the first, I think the first part of campaign was voiced, and, you know, there was there were like animations and that sort of thing, and it was really nice, you know, listening to the actual story of it. I know, I get it, you know, most of us aren't here for the story. We just want to play the game and level the characters, you know, get our Pokédex going. But the story is actually quite nice, you know, considering that most of these games don't really focus that much on it. You know, there's a lot more to this than what you would think. I mean, if you just look at the characters, you think, oh, you know, it's Joe Bloggs over here, or Cleopatra, or you know, whoever you look at, like Bastet, for instance. These are real, not real characters, obviously, but based on real lore. They've put a lot of effort into the lore, and I mean, like my wife, for instance, she's a huge fan of Egyptian stuff, and she recognized all of the Egyptian characters immediately, and she said, yes, this one does this, and, you know, my brain switched off. But basically she knew all of these characters, and I thought, oh, okay, so they've really put a lot of attention into getting the lore right, and making characters that are part of the pantheons and the lore of, say, the Grecian gods, and the Egyptians, and the Japanese ones. I actually like the Japanese ones a lot, and Asgardians and that sort of thing. So they real in the sense that they are from the actual historical pantheons. Sorry, I'm really waffling. I'll get to the point now, and let you guys go. But yeah, that's basically my progress through that. I'll give you a quick tour of my guide through campaign. My progress. I'm basically hardwall stuck on stage 10 of the Omiyokon realm, and that's not the game's fault. That's a me problem. I literally have not had the time to do it because of packing. But I will get through it. I mean, we've got 2 weeks. I'll get through it, and then I can eventually get to adventure mode. I mean, the basic story mode is only the first part. When I first saw the game, I thought, is there only one part of the thing? No, they've got adventure mode. I'm not sure if there's a higher mode after that. So I've managed to 3-star. I haven't 3-starred stage 10. And there's a couple there, but that's basically, you can, if you got the right composition, you can get the last star, but you need, the middle one is basically your timer, so you have to do it under 20 moves basically. But I think before that I've done all of the 3 stars. Yeah. So everything is 3-starred up to there, and you get some pretty decent stuff. I mean, you know, your stuff for, and this is only the first level of campaign. So when you get to adventure mode, your rewards are going to be a lot higher. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. There's a couple of currencies that I'm not sure about. So if you guys know more about the currencies than me, you know, and anyone actually watches this video, maybe you can tell me what they are. What was the one that I saw? Oh, this one here. I've got absolutely no idea what a token of valor is. 22,000 of tokens of valor. What are they? I've got no clue what to do with them. And that's another thing I wanted to say, because I'm waffling on. The fact that you can farm books in the game is absolutely amazing, because in raid you have to, you know, there's a slim chance that you might get one in a tournament or something like that, but a lot of the time people end up buying the books because it's such a slow thing. I mean, like the clan boss, for instance, you might get 1 or 2 books a week, or 3 books, or whatever the case is, if you're lucky. And then the shards and that sort of thing, those shards are like far and few between. You know, I think one time I got like, I don't know, 6 shards in a week, and I think that's the most I ever got from that. But the fact that you can actually farm these things is amazing to me. There's a lot of pluses in this game that, you know, are absolutely fantastic. So they're maxed up. And then as far as awakenings, the other thing that I'm not sure about is how to farm these. I know you get a couple through campaign. Now these, so now you want to ascend to level 2, you click on the plus. If you've got an echo, because you can get echoes through the campaign, and I'm sure there'll be other sources you might be able to buy them, you could use the echo versus having a copy of the character. Like this level 1, I had a copy of the character, so I just used it for awakening. And usually, you know, when you want the stat boosts, like level 3 is generally where you want to get to initially, and then the last one is obviously ability upgrade, and that's like quite a big one. So it's definitely worth getting copies, and that's probably why upgrading your rares is easier, because you tend to get a lot more copies of these, and then it's a lot, the cost of ascending them is cheaper. Overall it's cheaper to do your rares first, but they've got to be decent rares. So for me personally, I went with Ramses, and then obviously Isolde. This lady's absolutely fantastic. I'd definitely go for her. I made the mistake of deleting one of the Japanese samurai guys. He's one of the red ones. I don't know what his name is, but a lot of the guys rate him, and I wish I'd kept him, because I had about 3 of them, and you know, I could have advanced them a lot quicker, but now I don't have any. So yeah, I have no clue how good that guy is. So, you know, I'll have to just test some of these guys out, and then hopefully pull that dude again, and, you know, maybe I'll be lucky and get a legendary. But anyway guys, I've waffled on for so long. Hopefully, you know, one person watches the video. Maybe I'll help you fall asleep because I'm so boring. But basically, thank you very much for your time and for watching the video. And that's all from me. Thank you very much. Cheers.